Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Consistency Killed the Fat. My name is Martina and I lost 100 pounds in 12 months, overcame binge eating, and I'm now officially a hottie. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the topic, you're not bad, your habits are. Now, I really felt moved to talk about this because I used to feel like absolute crap about the way that I used to eat. I used to feel like I was undisciplined, unmotivated, lazy. Oh, you can never get anything right. You got no self-control. And I would constantly associate my actions around food with my identity. And I didn't see for many, many years that my identity and my actions are not actually linked, if you know what I mean. Like, they are not inextricable, they can be divided, and I needed to do that in order to change my actions because I was so set in this habit of overeating, and to the point where the repetition of the habit had become my identity, as in like, oh my god, I'm such a lazy fat blah, 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 blah. Then that became my identity. I needed to separate that and actually start to see that my actions are not my identity. And if I change my identity, my actions will change. But in order to do that, I needed to get out of autopilot. Binge eating makes you feel bad, but it doesn't make you bad. Like, you can't be bad. Like, you are inherently good. You are inherently divine. You are inherently precious. You are important and you are worthy. And binge eating is generally just a response to trauma or to things that we just feel like we cannot handle, but you don't have to stay there. I know for me, my binge eating was 110% a response to the outside world. It was a response to feeling overwhelmed, to feeling unprotected, to feeling unsafe. And so I went into binge eating as a child, and then I repeated it, and I really ingrained that habit all throughout my childhood, all throughout my teens, all throughout my 20s. And so it just became this thing that I always went to, and it felt like it was me because it had happened so many times that was like, this is just what I do, this is who I am. But actually I was functioning on autopilot. So the first thing that I needed to do was get myself out of autopilot, wake myself up and be like, whoa, what's going on here? Why is it happening? Why does it keep happening? Who does it happen around? When does it happen? And then go, okay, cool. Like, now I can see it. Now you've got your eyes on it. You can be like, cool. So if you can see it, if you can see your issue, that means you're not the issue. Because if you were the issue, you'd be able to see it, right? So I can see my issue. So I'm like, cool. So that means I'm not the issue. It's just a pattern. Okay, so if I'm not the issue and it's just a pattern, I need to separate myself from this. How do I do that? So I started to try to put some space in between my thoughts about eating and my actual binges, and see if there was any space for me to come in and go, wait, like, do we have to do this? And this might sound crazy to people who are not binge eaters, but you'll know what I mean. You wake up, or there's something going on, and you're like, I fucking need to binge, and you go full force towards that binge, and it's like you have this anxious rushed feeling and you just have to get there, you have to eat this food. It's like a burning desire, and it feels like there's nothing more important than getting this food. And so I started to do this thing, and it really fucked with me, but I started to do this thing where I was just like, and this is about 2 years before I even lost weight, but I started to do this thing where I would go to the shop and I just wouldn't buy it. And I would just see how I felt. Like, and sometimes I'd be so mad, and sometimes I'd like laugh at like just how mad I would get at the fact that I didn't buy this food, even though I really felt like doing it. And like, I was still binging at the time. Like, I was still, most of the time I was still choosing the option to binge. I was still having my binges, but I just started to create a bit of space where I was like, well, do I actually have to, or do I actually have to buy that much, or do I have to buy 10 packs, or can I just buy one? Like, does it need to be like this big massive binge every time I think of binging, or every time I'm uncomfortable, or just because I did it yesterday, does it have to be so extreme? And the answer was no. And so once I was able to put a little bit of space in between me and my binges, I was able to be like, oh shit, like, I have some sort of control over this. I can separate it. And I hadn't understood yet that I needed to change my identity around binging, but I had given a little gap between me and my choices around food, and that was really important. And to go back to the subject, which is you're not bad, your habits are, it made me realize that, oh, this is just a habit, this is just a pattern that I have locked in over the years by just doing it, practicing it so much. So maybe I can practice a new pattern, maybe I can practice a new habit. And that is what a lifestyle change, when people are irritatingly telling you about it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change, that's what they actually mean. They're meaning you must change your lifelong habits. That is what it means. And that is why crash dieting doesn't work, because it's not a change of your lifelong habits. What you're doing is something that you cannot do for life for a set period of time. And then you've practiced absolutely nothing about this new lifestyle that you have to have. So you go back to your old lifestyle because you don't know what to do, which is why you have to create a plan that is sustainable. If you want help creating that plan, click the links down below, because I offer coaching, I offer weight loss ebooks, weight loss courses. So yeah, if you want that, click the link down below and it will be there. The next thing is you need to change your identity. Now, changing your identity around food and around binge eating is way easier than you might think. You basically just have to create affirmations and then listen to them on repeat. Listen to them so much that they just become a part of your psyche. So this is what I did for 2 years before I even lost any weight. And I'm not saying it has to take this long. It's just that obviously as I was going through the process, I didn't realize I was going through the process. I was just sort of stumbling along, which is why now I've created all this content for you guys to help you to get there quicker than I did, so you don't have to stumble along for years and years and years. But yeah, so basically you have to change your identity. You have to start seeing yourself as like, you know, I'm in control of what I eat. I crave healthy foods. Weight loss comes easy to me. Weight loss gets to be easy and fun for me. You have to have affirmations on your new identity. So envision yourself healthy and happy and binge free, and think about all the things that that person would need to do, and then go and do them. So that's the other part. So affirmations don't work alone. You cannot just do the affirmations and then continue doing the thing. Like, I mean, that's what I did. And I mean, it worked in the sense of the affirmations went in, but it didn't get me anywhere in terms of my weight loss. When I really accelerated was when I paired my affirmations and my new identity with new actions. So you cannot just visualize, you also have to actualize and embody these new things. So I said to myself, okay, cool. The healthiest version of me, they count their calories, they eat in a deficit, they weigh and measure their food, they know what they're eating, they stick to guidelines, but they enjoy the fuck out of their food. Like, they go to Wagamama's, they eat the meal, they have the dumplings, they have the, you know, Jamaican food when they want to have the Jamaican food, they eat the cake, but they eat it in the portion that fits the structure, you know, that fits the budget, that fits the calorie deficit. And so then I started to be that person. I started to realize that the more days that I could rack up of practicing this new identity, this new person, the deeper and the wider that new identity would get, the stronger that foothold of that new identity would become within me. So I needed to practice it in the same way that I practiced being an overeater every single day, to the point that it felt like it was me, so that my bad habits made me feel like a bad person. I needed to practice my good habits to feel like a good person, to feel like I'm this new healthy person. And now, bitch, here she is. So that's what I did. I just kept practicing, and that is what I'm doing. I continue to do so. After I finish this video, I'm going to the gym. I just had a banana. I weighed my banana. It's not that deep. I keep my scales on my counter. I do not see it as a measure of my worth. I do not use it as a way to undereat. I use it as a way to know what I'm fucking eating, to make an informed decision about how much food I'm putting into my body, so that I can control what my body looks like, because that's what I want to do. I want to be healthy. I want to have a slim figure, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a good thing. It means I'm going to live longer. It means I'm going to be healthier. That's why I'm doing it. So the final thing that I want to talk about is give yourself grace. Once you've understood that you are not bad, your habits are, I want you to think of this new identity, practice being this new person every day, and give yourself grace and forgiveness. I use the word forgiveness just so you get what I mean, but there's nothing to forgive. Give yourself grace and forgiveness when you don't do it 100%. So now I don't do it 100%. Even now, after losing 100 pounds, I still have days where I eat more than I want to eat. I still have days where I choose the food that I would rather not choose. So it's not that it's perfect every single day. It's just that I give myself grace. I'm like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, you spent how many decades practicing these other habits? You know, I'm only 2 years into practicing these new habits, and I'm still figuring it out. It's okay. But you do have to be committed to these new habits. You have to be committed, and you have to be aiming at them every single day. And when you don't quite hit it, let it go. Because when you hold on to it, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, I can't believe I failed, like, you add more energy to that old identity, and you're taking away from the new one. Just take all your energy away from how you used to eat. Like, don't be like, oh, but I always do this, oh, but I used to do this, oh, but I was this amount of, like, wait, like, fuck that, like, forget about it, that's done, you can't change it, like, let it go. leave it alone, put all your energy into this new identity, these new habits, and just know that you are not a bad person, you just have bad habits. And I don't know who is supposed to hear that, but I know that I felt like I was a bad person. Not bad as in morally bad, just like bad as in couldn't control myself. And it was like, no, you can control yourself. You're just not in the habit of doing so. You're just not in the habit of doing so. You're in the habit of doing whatever you want, whenever you want, because that was how you got through some horrible shit. But now that horrible shit isn't here, and now you're an adult, now you need to move on with your life. Now you want this bright, beautiful, long, healthy life. How are you going to give it to yourself? So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I really want you to make that distinction. You are not your habits. You are not your eating disorder. You are not your binge eating. You are not your overeating. You are separate from your actions. You just need to change your identity, and then you need to bring your habits in alignment with that new identity. You need to start saying, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a healthy person, I'm disciplined, I'm persistent, I'm consistent. Weight loss is easy for me. It's fun. It's juicy. And it can be juicy. It can be fun. I remember I used to just eat all different types of things. I'd have granola with fruit, and I'd try new foods, and I was just gave myself the space to always leave every meal with that that was such a delicious meal. I loved it, and that was what kept it so enjoyable for me to change my habits. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I don't really know what you're doing. Babes, click like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what else you want to see on this channel. Tell me how else I can help you guys, because that's why I'm here, to help you guys, to help you to see that you do not have to stay in a place that you do not like. You are not a tree, bitch. Move. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Bye.